Ladies and gentlemen, here are the trade alerts for July 30th, 2024. We got DJT giving a sell signal on the weekly chart, PRO giving a green dot, which is a buy signal on the weekly chart, and AVAX is showing a red dot on the weekly chart as well. I got AVAX pulled up right here. As you can see, we got the signal back on this day here. This week was July 15th. It printed green, but now it's showing a red. So what we need to do is use caution here. What I'm going to advise you to do is set a stop loss. Let's move into the smaller time frame here, the daily. Okay, and it doesn't look good on the daily either. So I got a stop loss on this thing set at 20, call it $24. So if that breaks, you need to sell your position. What I'd be doing is waiting for a green dot here on the daily or the 4-hour chart. Okay, and the 4-hour looks like it wants to print here pretty soon, but you guys got to be cautious of this red dot because when these things print, right, you can get a big drop. So what I do is set a stop loss, meaning it needs to hold 24. If you guys don't know what a stop loss is, I highly recommend you get on YouTube right now and look up what is a stop loss and understand why it's important to use. Because again, as traders, we're trading levels. So with these green dots, they pretty much tell us like, hey, this is a potential bottom. It doesn't mean it's the bottom. It means it's a potential bottom. And that dot came around $26. So you are risking about $2 to the downside on this trade with a stop loss at 24. Okay, and if this thing prints on Sunday, meaning it closes the week. Weekly candles close on Sundays at 8 p.m. New York time. So if this prints on the chart, and when I say print, it means the week closes and we get a new candle. Okay, what I do right now is set a stop loss at 24 on AVAX. That's how you got to play it. And if you're looking to enter on this one, okay, I'd look for a green dot down here on the daily. But if that thing comes, you got to make sure this thing is not on the weekly. Because, again, we're weekly charts on this, weekly chart traders on this channel. If you guys take a look over here at the trading rules, again, we are swing traders and trade the weekly chart, okay? Meaning the weekly time frame. We're not day traders. We're not trading the minute chart, the 5-minute chart, the 15-minute chart, the hourly chart, which is what a lot of people like to do. We want to reference the weekly. Okay, look for the signals, and then we can get on the smaller time frames. But if your name, right, is holding a red dot on the weekly chart, you do not want to own it. Look at the last one came back here in April. That was at $55. It dipped all the way down to $20. Okay, that was a massive 50% dip. So yes, we got a green dot, but like I said, not every single green dot is 100% accurate. If this was 100% accurate, okay, I'd be on a beach somewhere flying around on my private jet. Okay, it's not 100%. That's why we got to manage our risk, folks. $24 has to be your stop loss on AVAX here. What else did we get? We got PRO given a green dot here on the weekly, but it looks like it did fade away. So like I was saying, the weekly candles, they close on Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern time, meaning when the candle closes, the dot can't be taken away. So yes, you got the signal here. It showed up, but it faded away very quickly. Okay, it looked like a big pump and dump. So, guys, these markets are really, really crappy right now. I mean, it's what I refer to as a kangaroo market, meaning we're up, we're down, we're up, we're down. Right? We're not in a bull market where we're going straight up. We're in kind of a consolidation phase right here. You can see the consolidation. That's when price just goes sideways. You can see if I take this away, we're just kind of establishing a range right here on our 50 EMA. So if you look at our cheat sheet over here, okay, this is a good way to understand the market psychology of things. Okay, a lot of retail investors like you and I are buying up here in the new paradigm phase. That's like way up here in April, right? They're buying PRO at $4. Okay, and then you saw the sell signal came up at $4, right? Everyone's excited about it. Everyone thinks it's going to the moon. We call this the delusion new paradigm phase. Okay, this is the phase where we want to be selling, not buying. The general rule here is that if they're already talking about it, we're too late to the party. Where we want to buy is where people are in distress, they're in despair, which I'm sensing a lot of that in today's market with the way that things are going up and down and up and down and up and down. Okay, or we're somewhere in this smart money phase to where we're just kind of going sideways. You can see we're establishing a range. We've gone sideways for the last 4 weeks. We're not going straight up. We're not going straight down right now. We're going sideways. So what we're doing is we're establishing a range. So if you guys want to play this signal, I told you it faded away from the chart. What I do is I get in here to the 4-hour, Okay, and this thing's just choppy, choppy, choppy. This is another one of those really low market cap cryptos. But if you're playing this thing, right, if you got it on the dot today, you need to set a stop loss at the bottom of these candles over here, which is 120. Your stop loss has to be 120 here, okay? And I would want to make sure that that dot comes back on the chart before I took my position, okay? Because it did flash, but what that is saying, that is the potential bottom. You see it went away, but we did get the signal. It did trigger over here in the Discord. If you guys are a member of the Discord, you guys get all the weekly chart alerts here, just like we got on DJT Pro and AVAX. We also had a bunch go off yesterday. Okay, if you missed yesterday's video, that's right here under the alerts tab. It's also in the latest video tab right here. Okay, so if you click on that link, you can watch yesterday's video and get the coverage on all of these names that we got alerts on here. And again, that's PRO. So the level you want to watch on PRO, I know Bruno Bones is big on this one, is the bottom of this big green candle right there. It looks like the low was 119. So you want to set a stop loss, set it to like 115. Okay, and make sure that green dot comes, because again, the green dots when the blue wave is way down here are the places where we want to enter on the weekly. Okay, you were entering there. Okay, you were out up here at 63. You were entering right here. Boom, you were out here at 90. That was from 23 cents all the way up to 90 cents. It pulled back again, gave you another green dot. You probably can't see this on the chart right here, but you got one right there, and then that thing did the rippity-dippity. So I like the fact that the stochastic is on the floor. Okay, I just want to make sure that 116 holds here. So this is where I get into a 4-hour chart, or maybe the hourly chart, and try to pinpoint my entries. Okay, there was a big volume candle right there that came in today, which caused the spike. Okay, that was a big spike there. That was a 20% hourly candle, which is absolutely insane. Look at that volume bar. Okay, big, massive volume bar right there. So 120 is a big level on this. Okay, I'd call 115 a major level. That's right where our mean is, which is a good place to potentially be a buyer because, again, our cheat sheet, you look at this dotted line down here, that is our mean. That is our average price. We consider that the yearly average price. That is our light blue line on the chart, right, on our trading indicator. Okay, the light blue line. That's the 50 EMA. Think of it as the yearly average moving price. It is the average price over 60 weeks, that light blue line. So we like to buy pullbacks into that with green dots. Because again, boom, this is where you want to buy. You want to buy when it's above the mean, above the 50-week, pulling back, gives you the green dot and rip. So you got the signal today, but it faded. So we need to pump back up, right? But we don't want to be buying when we're below that light blue line because we're in a bear market. We want to wait till we break out over it, pull back into it, boom. Okay, pull back into it, boom. Okay, I'm expecting, I like PRO. I really do like it, but I need it. Like if I'm playing this, right, I'm setting a stop loss at 115, and I have not taken a position on that. And the daily chart's actually giving you a green dot here too. So if you wanted to be less conservative, what you could do is set a stop loss at like 120, but I keep it down there at 115. If you get too tight, that's where you get into trouble and you get stopped out a lot, but still pretty light volume here. So interesting play there. DJT was the other one. I got stopped out on this today. The red dot did come, so I did sell my position. I got out when it broke down below. It was a 1950, I believe. That was my stop loss. So I'm looking to re-enter DJT on the next daily green dot whenever that comes. I don't know when it's going to be. I'm also watching the 4-hour as well. You see the 4 hours very deep here, just like it was back here. Okay, and just like it was right in this area as well. So again, I'm waiting for a daily or 4-hour signal. Those are the two smaller time frames here. The weekly chart's just been really choppy. Okay, up and down and up and down and up and down. It had this assassination attempt on Trump. It went all the way up to $50, and then for some reason just flushed all the way back down to 28. So that's what we're watching on DJT again. Looking for a green dot on the 4-hour or the daily there. You do have the weekly, and again, I was stopped out on my position there. And that's it for today. We did have one request, I believe, over here from Sky Climber to the newest member of our Discord. And I think I had one from B Mark that I missed yesterday. He wanted Visa and MasterCard. Okay, CLSK was Sky Climber's request. And if you guys got chart requests throughout the week, we drop videos every single day here on YouTube. CLSK was his request here. How I'm playing this one, it does have a red dot on the weekly here. Again, another one that's probably not the best one to trade on the weekly just because of how choppy it is right now. And this one highly depends on what Bitcoin does. So when Bitcoin's going down like this is obviously going down. They're a Bitcoin mining operation. What I do on CleanSpark here is I would set a stop loss right, I would wait for the daily green dot here. Wait for the daily green dot to enter. Okay, if that thing comes around 14, I think that'd be a great place to enter it. But what I'm going to advise you to do is set a signal alert here, and I'll show you how to do that. So if you have the trading indicator, you could right click here and hit add alert. Okay, and you can either use the small or the big green dot. So if I wanted to set an alert on this and I wanted to be notified when the next green dot came on CLSK, what I would do is I would hit right click, I'd hit add an alert, and I'd come down here to the small green dot. Okay, the small green dot will call out every single one. The big green dot, that one's a little different. So that one is actually when the asset is super oversold. That hasn't happened since back here in January of 2024. You can see the big green dots have the shaded area down here. So these are actually considered more bullish than the small ones. Okay, that meaning they're more oversold than the small ones. You can see there's no shaded area on any of these. Okay, so if you want to set one to be alerted on every single one, you want to use the small green dot. Okay, same thing with the sell signals. There's the sell signal and the small red dot, and then there's the big red dot for the sell signal. Normally, I'll use the small green dots on the small red dots for the sell, and then I'll normally use the big green dots on the daily. Or the small green dots. I use the small green dots on the weekly mostly. I'd encourage you to experiment with it, see what works best for you. But you just click on that. And then what I'll normally do if I want to be notified of every single one throughout time, I'll do once per bar. But in this case, I'm going to do only once. And I'm going to create that. So when this green dot comes up here on CLSK, I am going to be notified now. And you can check your alerts by coming over here to this tab. You go to the alerts tab right here, and you can sort this. So what I do is time triggered normally. Okay, I'll do time triggered. So I want the newest triggers first. So you can see these were all from yesterday. Okay, and these 3 were from today. So I can come over here, I can click on it, and I can open my chart and look at what it's like. So that's how you set the alerts. If you guys don't have the trading indicator, again, you can come over here to the Discord. There's a trading indicator tab right here. Okay, if you're trading the market and not using this thing, I don't know what you're doing. What you should do is come over here to the, what you can do is come over here to the link, click this, and it will actually open up a page to where you can download it for yourself. You'll get access to all the EMAs, right? The light blue line I talked about, all the settings and everything are already set up for you. You'll get the green dots, the red dots, everything you need to get started with trading with this thing. I've been using it for almost 5 years now, and I couldn't imagine trading without it. So that is how you download that. That's how you get that. I know someone was asking, how do you set an alert? So hopefully that answered your question. Again, all you got to do is right click. So you go to the asset you want, and then you got to decide which time frame you're gonna trade. I'd recommend using the daily, the weekly, or the monthly. Okay, and then using these to snipe your entries. But if you're wanting to trade on a daily chart, again, you just come down here, you right click, you hit add alert. Okay, and then you select either the small or the big green dot. Okay, the small green dot is going to call out every single dot. The big green dots, like I said, are only going to call out the ones with the shaded areas down here. Okay, which are considered to be more bullish. Okay, and AVAX isn't looking good because it's trending down here below our 50-week on the daily, and the weekly it's even below it as well. So that's actually rule number 2, is we only buy assets trending above the 50-week EMA. So when an asset is below this light blue line, we don't like to purchase it. Okay, we don't like to buy the green dots below that line. We like to buy them above that line, just like we got in here. Boom, that was a nice 100% rip right there. Okay, so when something's trending below, right, like I said, we're in a bear market. We want to wait till we break out above it. We want the assets breaking out above the 50-week. So if it's below the 50-week, we don't want to touch it. And that was an ugly rejection right there off the 200 for AVAX. So yeah, AVAX, I'd be looking for like a daily green dot or the next weekly dot to come back on the chart, because that red dot is showing up today. So again, be very, very cautious. Again, that was called out over here. If you guys are a member of the Discord, again, you get all the weekly chart alerts, weekly dot alerts for the names listed on our watch list, which is posted right over here in the Discord as well. So CLSK, like I said, I will wait here. Okay, I'd be patient on this one and wait for a daily green dot to enter. Okay, I want to show you guys a position I took today and how I'm approaching it. So I saw this dot pop up here on A-Firm. This is a daily dot. Okay, for stocks, I like to trade the daily chart more than the weekly. Crypto, I focus more on the weekly chart. But with stocks, I like to use the daily. Okay, so what I saw was the stochastic RSI, our light blue line, was down here on the floor. Okay, this is how we measure our wave. Okay, so when this is on the floor, we want to pay attention because we want to buy the bottom of the wave and we want to sell the top of the wave. You can see the last time we were on the bottom back here was back in July. Okay, this was the bottom of the wave, right, at it pumped all the way up to 34. Okay, last time we got that green dot, you can see that was right here in July. Okay, green dot came. Okay, and then this thing absolutely did the rippity dippity. Okay, 21% move there. Okay, that's a really nice move. So I saw the green dot. So what I did was I got in on the smaller time frame. I like to use the 15-minute or the hourly in conjunction with the daily. So then I came in here to the 15-minute. I waited for a pullback and a green dot down here, and that's where I entered. I think I'm in at like 27.40, and it's at 27.48 right now. But you can see my stop loss now is at the bottom of this candle right here where we got the buyer stepping in to save it. Okay, so we got the green dot, boom. So my stop loss is at 27, and that just so happens to be right at the bottom of the daily candle we're getting the green dot on. So if this green dot is correct, it should not break down below 27. Okay, and if it does, I'm going to sell it because my stop loss order is set at 27. Okay, but I like how it broke out above here on the 15-minute, and this is a bank. So banks actually perform very well in bear markets, which it looks like we're kind of going into a bear market right now based on what the SPY's doing. You can see the SPY's coming down here. We got the red dot a couple weeks ago. That one's coming down. I'm going to guess the SPY's maybe going to come down to 500. It'd be even better if it came down to like 427. By the way, I just saw some stuff on X. I don't know what this is all about, but there was some trending news. Russian lawmakers approved crypto for international trade. There's also the XRP lawsuit ending soon. And then I also saw, what's this? They have also, I also saw that U.S. ships are going into Lebanon right now. So I don't know if World War III is about to kick off or what, but as long as the SPY stays red here on the weekly, we got to expect it to come down. Tech is also getting killed here. Microsoft, they missed big on their earnings. They're down really big after hours. You can see they're way down. Big miss on their earnings. So there's going to be more pressure on tech tomorrow. But typically when tech's going down, names like A-Firm, okay, names like BAC, Bank of America, the banks normally do really good when tech is going down. And you can see up into the right here on Bank of America, this is a bank. So I think banks are going to have a good leg up here over the next couple of weeks. So that's why I'm now positioned on A-Firm. Again, my stop loss on the A-Firm trade is 27, but that's kind of like my analysis behind using this trading indicator. So the daily, if you're entering on the daily green dots, this is the best day to enter, right? So I got the green dot. I didn't buy it right away up here at 29.25 because, again, if you look at the 15-minute chart, we were very overextended, right? We were way up here. I wanted to wait till that pulled back down here to the down here at the bottom of the 15-minute chart, because if I got a daily dot, that means over the next couple days, this should, you know, if history repeats itself like it did here, it should go up over the next few days. Okay, that means it shouldn't break down. So I know I'm going to be wrong really fast. I'm risking about 40 cents on this. It's a 40-cent risk. That's about 1.1% to make a potential. I mean, how much were we at back to the top? 6%. So a 6-to-1 odds on that trade there, which I think is really good. I'll take those 6-to-1 odds all day long, okay? Because in the end, I will win. So 27 is the stop loss on that. So that's kind of how I'm using it on the daily there. Again, you get the dot, and then you look for the 15-minute, either green dot down there, or again, the hourly as well. Okay, but you could see the trend. We're starting to trend up and to the right. We're not going down. And we also broke over the 50 here as well and pulled back into it on the hourly time frame. So I'm playing this green dot. That's about the only position I have now. I got stopped out on a lot of stuff. I still have my plug. I still have my plug play. My plug stop loss is still down there at 220. Fubu, I like this one on the monthly here. Okay, the monthly's way down here. I think Fubu is a legit company. I actually use their services. They're like Netflix, but they offer a lot of live sports and news channels. They got earnings coming up, but I'm playing the green dot on this. Okay, I'm anticipating it off this green candle we're getting here this month. Okay, and this thing was all the way up here at $60 back in 2020. So it's sitting at $1. If it goes back to that, that's 6,000%. So I got a pretty small position because it's a really small company. And then DJT on Solana, I'm still holding. That's just a fundamental play there. And then here's my watch list for the week. We got TON. Recently, that one given a green dot on the daily there. I'm watching that. PayPal gapped up today. Okay, PayPal gapped up off of an earnings beat. So when they beat earnings, normally companies will go up. How I'm playing this is I'm looking for an hourly pullback here. back down to the EMAs, maybe around 60. That's how I'm going to play that again. Waiting for the next green dot down here. So I'm keeping an eye on all these names. I got QI here. QI also has a green dot, but it also has a red dot on the daily. But if you look at the weekly, okay, the dot is still green. So the stop loss on this one needs to be around 1.014. This is another AVAX play here. So if AVAX goes down, it might not be pretty for QI there. Neo, I don't even know why that's on my watch list. That's a garbage company. J Blue, they had a big earnings beat today as well. Again, when companies beat on earnings, their stock goes up. J Blue was one of those. So what are we doing now? We're waiting for pullbacks on the smaller time frames, looking for entries. Okay, looking for entries. NVIDIA coming down. I'm waiting for the green dot on that. I just want to keep an eye to see when that thing prints. Again, if I wanted to set an alert, I could go ahead and hit add alert. Okay, I could set a small green dot. I could do it only once and then hit create. So I'll be notified when that thing pops up there on the chart. But this one's macro time frame doesn't look very good. I'm looking for a pullback maybe into 83. We called this out in yesterday's video. That was the monthly dot there. The monthly dots are deadly. You can see the last one came back here. In January, that thing pulled back from 35 all the way down to 11. That's a 60% drop. So be careful on NVIDIA there. We're just we want to buy a really big pullback on that one. Here's SoFi. Looks like they beat earnings as well. So again, banks are doing well. Okay, so again, where I'm buying SoFi, I want to buy this one back into its EMAs on the smaller time frames like the hourly or the 15-minute. XRP showing a green dot off that Russia news. Okay, again, if you guys know XRP, that one's supposed to be the ledger of the world. So apparently that's what everyone's going to transact with one day. I like how the stochastics down here on the daily, but that one is giving you a breakout signal. We got a stop loss at 59 cents on that. Dell still way down here, waiting for that one to bounce a little bit here. We want to get back over that hourly EMA, but again, tech is getting killed right now, so I'm just kind of keeping an eye on that. We got Snapchat. Snapchat's actually reporting earnings here Thursday, so I wanted to keep this one on the watch list and see how they do. I'm a big fan of Snapchat, not so much the app, but I'm a fan of how many users they got and how active their users are on it. So I'd imagine they got a massive user base, so I'm bullish fundamentally on it. And again, tech is selling off, so we got to be careful here. And again, we got earnings coming up here on Thursday, so keep an eye on that one. We got Roblox here also reporting as well. And I don't normally buy companies before their earnings. I like to buy companies after their earnings, because if they miss their earnings like Microsoft did today, you can see what happens. Okay, Microsoft down 6% after hours. Okay, not a good thing to sit through there. Look at that, big miss on revenue. Not really, well, 1%. But I saw the daily dot today on Roblox. The weekly's still moving up there, but again, it's all going to matter on their earnings there. Amazon's also got earnings on Thursday as well. Big week for earnings, and this one has a daily green dot here. So the current level we're watching is 175. But again, that's going to totally depend on if they beat their earnings or not on their move. Again, their monthly chart's also given a red dot. So these red dots on the monthly are telling me that we could pull back. We could go back into a bear market here in the stock market. We've ran really hot. We're due for a correction. We are due for a correction. Here's Jasmine. I added this one off of the green dot here on the weekly. I got a stop loss on this one at 2.5. Again, in here on the 4-hour, the shorter term time frame, trying to time my entries. I'd actually move this thing up here based on the 4-hour to about 0.027. Okay, but we're bullish as long as the last dot remains green here on the weekly. This is a trade here on the weekly chart. So 0.027, I'm getting that from the 4-hour. The 4-hour right there, watching for a green dot, watching where we're going to bounce. I'm going to guess this thing might come down to 2.9 and bounce there off the EMA. That doesn't look bad. Scandal, SNDL, that one's got a green dot as well, but also has earnings. Not a huge fan of that one there. I'm going to take that one off. Here's X, also a little too overextended for me up here. I'm going to take that one off. We got MSOS, a cannabis ETF. Cannabis is also another industry that performs very well in bear markets. So if we're going into a bear market, things like MSOS should be going up. Also CGC had a green dot today. So we're playing this level right here at about call it 710, 709, just $7 flat probably. You can see it came down there and hit 7 exactly and bounced. That's hilarious. But it did get the daily there, so that's actually that was my top pick for today. And And then SLUN got the red today, so we're watching 470 on that one. 470, this is an AI play. It's still green on the weekly. So we're watching the daily here. Again, you got the green dot yesterday and then the red dot today. So 476, that one's kind of a coin flip there. Here's CHPT, red dot today. So not watching it. We're keeping an eye on 190 there. 190 is the stop loss. You could even probably move it up to 198 for an even better trade. But I'd keep it down here at 190 right here. Make sure it doesn't break this level. Put it at like 185. But this is an electric car play called Charge Point. Okay, again, they've gotten absolutely annihilated down from $40. Now you can see all this volume coming in here. So CHPT is an interesting play. It did have the red daily, but that doesn't mean a green one can't come tomorrow. So 190 is the stop on that. That's the watch list. Oh, XLM was another one. 0.098. Okay, nice green candle today with volume. XRP and XLM are both looking nice here. They're the two most bullish crypto I've seen. Okay, they're the two most bullish crypto I've seen. The weekly chart is a little overextended, so be careful. Use your stop loss on this at 0.098 if you're holding it. Okay, stochastic's trying to come off the floor here. You can see that little light blue line there starting to point up. So keep an eye on XLM this week as well. If the green dot comes today or tomorrow, I think that'd be an excellent opportunity. But the stop loss on this, you're risking less than a penny on. Okay, at 0.098. So that's the watch list. Let's look at Bitcoin real quick. Bitcoin still green on the weekly. Still green on the weekly, and the 4 hour is trying to bounce here. So you can see the 4 hour chart last time it pulled back into this blue line here, gave you a green dot and ripped. It's doing the same exact thing right here. So it's pulling back probably into that blue line. We're going to get a green dot here, I'd imagine either today or tomorrow, and most likely it will go back up as long as the last dot remains green on the weekly. So we're still bullish on crypto overall, okay, with the green dot. But as soon as we flip red, just like AVAX did today, okay, we got to be out. Let's look at Ethereum real quick, too. Ethereum's still red this week. So the level we're watching on Ethereum, I've been calling this out for a couple weeks now, is 3,000. We got to hold 3,000 on Ethereum. Let's look at the 4 hour real quick. Okay, and also it's coming on down there. So I'd be playing Ethereum off the next 4 hour dot as long as, well, it's red right now. So be careful. Okay, you want this dot to fade into the week. Okay, it's a coin flip right now, folks. The direction is so unclear right now. There's so much uncertainty in the market right now. It's insane. That's why I don't feel comfortable really going long on anything and just kind of staying short. Like I said, I'm trading a daily chart here on A-Firm. Not really looking to go long at the moment. The green dot came here on Sol at around 146, so I'd still make sure that's your stop loss level here. If you're playing the breakout, again, what you want to do is probably come down here on the 4 hour and wait for the next green dot. Again, I think that's going to come either today or tomorrow, but you could see it bounced right here off the blue line last time. Okay, and it's sitting right back down there on it. So you could actually come up here to like 172 and set that stop loss. That's about a $7 stop loss there on Solana. Again, the last dot is still green, so we got nothing to worry about. Okay, until we get a red dot or the stochastic comes up here to 100. But this thing is on an absolute freaking tear. Came back into our 50 and bounced. Looks good. Watching the 4 hour for Solana if you want to trade this thing. Wait for the green dot. Okay, but that's a nice bull hammer forming right here, right now. 172 is going to be the current support on that. Let's look at the SPY real quick. This is the S&P 500 again. Last dot still green coming down. Tech stocks, last dot green still, last dot red still coming down there. So we want the green dot to come back on QQQ and SPY. Based on how Microsoft's reacting right now, folks, it's looking like there's going to be a lot more pressure on the tech stock. So I believe there was 2 more chart requests here. One for Visa and one for MasterCard. Okay, the Visa's way down here on the weekly. So I really like Visa at the moment for a weekly chart play. If you're going to play this one, move your stop loss up to the bottom of that candle where we close. Call it 255. 255, and we're trying to bounce here. The 4 hour, I would have liked you to buy it down here at about 250. But again, companies like this, they have credit cards. So national debt, I think that's what you said, right? Debt at all-time highs, so they're getting interest revenue. So banks and things like that hold credit cards are probably going to do really well right now because it's a flight to safety. Again, wait for the confirmation of the dot, but if you're taking this trade now, use a stop loss around that 258 level. Yeah, right there at 258, 259. That's where I put that stop loss playing the continuation. And what's the daily saying? Okay, the daily's still pointing up as well. So yesterday's candle was my stop loss. That's 258. 258 was the daily. Yesterday's candle, if you're playing that one, doesn't look bad. I think the fundamentals, I think you're right. I think they're bullish right now. Okay, because I think these cards are going to be a flight to safety. We got MasterCard as well, giving you the green dot. So MasterCard has the green dot. So you could expect Visa to print. It's MasterCard and Visa most likely move in conjunction with each other. Again, I would have liked you to buy it down here off the 4 hour. So set your stop loss right now. I'm going to call it at 440. You're risking about $6 to the downside on a trade on a breakout here, but that weekly dot is indicating that we are going to reverse in direction. Again, it's not 100%, but it's pretty accurate. The last one that closed was back here in November. That was at $385. It went all the way up to $500. That was a nice, beautiful trade there. 27%. So MasterCard looks good there. And I believe that was the last request. So if you guys got requests, again, throughout the week, feel free to put them over here in the request thread. If you guys got questions or anything like that, feel free to shoot me an email. My email contact information is over here in the server rules, overkill at overkillinvesting.club. You guys can also at me over here in the chat. Okay, we got interactive chat over here as well in the Discord. You guys can at me here. I'd be happy to answer any guys' questions, help you get started. All the links to everything you need to get started trading are over here in the Discord. We're dropping new videos every single day here on this channel, Monday through Friday. And I hope you guys got something out of this video. Smash the like. If we can get the likes to 100, I will give away $500 worth of Bitcoin. We got to get this video to 100 likes, though. Just drop a comment to enter for that. Again, hopefully you guys got some value out of this. God bless you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.